Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
It's my. It's okay. We can put down here. There. It's okay. All right. Fire away. First question for Ezi. Hey, just how important was it to match their physicality? It just feels that's with the Sun that they just bring a whole lot of that, but today you guys were able to just sort of match that back and forth.
Yeah, I think it was really important. Obviously, just playing on our front foot early on, but obviously able to sustain that throughout all 4 quarters. And I think we did a great job of that. Defensively, it's something that we kind of pride ourselves on. I thought Jordan did a good job in leading that today, just with her matchup, and that kind of just translated throughout the whole game. But yeah, we knew they were going to be a physical team, and so it was just about sustaining that.
And is there a connection that's developing between you and Jordan here? I mean, there was twice there where Jordan was on rebound and she leads out, but it felt like you kind of knew what was happening or knew, but what's going on between you two?
I don't know. I mean, we're like locked in. We're accountability partners, so we already have a connection off the court. But I think Jordan, like this year, I've definitely seen like a step up in her guard skills. Obviously, she was more of a played a post for us last year, but just the way she's able to push the ball in transition. I know she loves scanning the floor, so I'm just, I guess, ready for those outlet passes. And she did a great job of that today.
Thanks.
Kind of on that note, Jordan, what was working for you today?
Everything.
I mean, I was just really comfortable. Like, I felt like, I mean, if you ask me, like, I was really nervous to start the game. So I was just like, just get out my head, just go out there, play basketball, just, try to affect the game, start on defense and, find ways to impact the game. So I just, stuck to that. And I have great teammates that, was instilling confidence in me. So that helps.
And kind of for both of you on that note, like last year, do you kind of feel like there's been a big I guess gap in confidence for you starting, maybe last year it was more nerve-wracking to start. Do you feel like you've grown in that? And Ezi, have you seen how Jordan's grown in that?
I do think I've grown in that aspect. It's like, because I mean, I feel like I belong now. Last year I was just like, wow, like, they're in the headlights, but now I feel like, I can make a mark on this league. But it was just like an exciting feeling, It's my first start of the season. I had a big challenge with DeWanna. And I took it personal. But no, I was just more like excited that, they see something in me. They believe in me and I'm doing what I need to do.
Do you feed off each other's energy defensively? If I
literally sent people to her. Like, they don't know, like it look like I'm getting beat, but it's really like that's the plan. Like I'm gonna get beat so that she could block the hell out of their shot. So I just told the game plan, but they still gonna do it.
No, we definitely do. I think, especially with big momentum plays, like if it's a block shot, or a steal, or literally anything, I feel like we feed off each other. But I feel like we feed off, like everyone feeds off each other as well. So it's not just us two. But yeah, Jordan always tries to like hype me up when I block a shot out. It's like standing there.
No emotion, no expression, nothing.
But yeah, we definitely have chemistry, so feeding off each other is important.
Yeah, one play in particular is I think Connecticut had 3 shots.
Yeah.
You blocked a shot in the paint. And was Jordan involved there was like a second on the kind of the weak side on that same possession? Do you remember that one?
I don't remember, no. I'm sorry.
Neither. I gotta go back and watch it.
That's good. Everyone's getting recorded.
The team has had when they had to win against Phoenix, BG wasn't there. They had it against Vegas early. They were down. Today, you got to win against a very good team with everybody there, everybody healthy. What does that mean going forward to beat a team of that caliber with all their horses out there?
Yeah, I think it obviously just gives us a bit of confidence. Noe talked about whose bounce back is going to be greater. Obviously, we didn't get the win against Vegas, but we knew we needed to bounce back today. Connecticut are a great team. They're number 1 for a reason. So it was just a great matchup for us. Like I said earlier, I think we did a great job of just sustaining our energy defensively throughout all 4 quarters. And when we're like that, I feel like our offense just comes a lot easier.
Jeff Brown wasn't able to make it today, but he has a question for you. He was wondering just about if you could talk about the defense against Bonner and Carrington today, Jordan and then Ezi.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Yeah, your defense today against Bonner and Carrington specifically.
Like I said, I was just really locked in on my matchup. I feel like everybody was really locked in. We knew it was an early game, so we had to, find that spark, early. But I took it personal. They trusted me to, guard a great player, and my goal and my, focus was to stop her, make her uncomfortable. So yeah, I feel like everybody, played a part in that though, because I got hit with some screens and, I had to maneuver, and I feel like we all was on a string. I feel like, everybody was in sync. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think Jordan said it. Obviously, DB was a big matchup, and yeah, like I said, we feed off each other, so we know it's not just one person. Matchup. I think we play better when we play team defense. Obviously, Alyssa Thomas is really great in transition, so just being able to build a wall, and just help each other out. But I thought, Jordan in particular, but everyone did really well with their matchups this morning. Sorry.
Sure. Just like, how is it for like you guys, just being so young in this program? I think it was a couple of nights, it was Neka who described you guys as the future of the team. And on a day like this, there's so many of the former players that are coming back. I don't know if you guys had a chance to like talk with them, interact with them, but just how did that post-game ceremony hit you? How did this day hit you? Just to see all of those old players back. And do you envision yourself, Jordan Jordan, kind of being in that group?
Yeah, I do. I want one of them watches that they got. That's the plan. Nice.
Yeah, I mean, it obviously was a pretty special day to be recognized, but obviously to do it with the team that we have now. We're all each other's #1 fans, so we definitely heard them just celebrating me, Sammy Jewel, and the past players and Sadie, sorry, and the past players that were here as well. But yeah, obviously Jordan's a second-year player now, so I definitely can see that for her too for the next however many years she plays.
Right, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Coach in here just.
Coach, how you doing?
Well,
Hey, what's the calculus and like the thought process behind moving a bench player who's like playing so well and like doing so well, and then moving that player into the starting lineup? Is there any fear that they may get out of their comfort zone, or just what goes behind that?
It's definitely a different mindset, but specifically what you're asking, what I saw in Jordan was a matchup that I felt like she could really focus on because she had those reps last year. And if you think about her athletic ability, her height, she matches up really well against DB. And it wasn't anything that she hadn't seen because she did it last year when she was, playing the 4 a little bit more. The thing that comes into mind when you're moving a player from a different different position to start the game is preparation and mindset. And she knew coming into this game, spoke with her and told her the assignment. We're starting, her #1 role is to be an elite defender, starting on that end of the floor. And then what you saw today was some stuff that she's been doing her entire life, playmaking at the position. So it's confidence in the player, it's preparation, it's communication, it's understanding of role.
And then to like that right there, just how are you guys different as a team when it's Jordan now who is leading the fast breaks, Jordan getting rebounds, going out. You've empowered sort of everybody to like do that, Ezi, but now Jordan doing it, it looks totally different, brings a different dynamic to you guys.
I mean, everybody has an ability to start the break, and that helps with the versatility. And, I've talked a lot about wanting to play in transition a little bit more to reward our defense with some easier looks. And if 1 through 5 can bring the ball up to start the break, we can get into things a lot easier, or we could get into the paint. As you saw, she is able to create for others. And that matters when you're thinking about trying to get our assists up and try to get our pace going.
And with Jordan, just talk a little bit about how defensively you were able to hold Bonner and Carrington to 0 points at the half. And, you know, is that Jordan? Is that just the whole team or, you know?
It's definitely a team effort. Like I've said, every time I probably come up here, we want to hang our hat on the defensive end. And, you know, DeWanna is an amazing player in this league, and a player like that, you are going to not completely stop. You saw how she started in the second half and her ability to shift so easily. But again, it's, you know, KYP at that point. I thought Joel did an excellent job on Carrington and understanding she wants to get in the paint, but it's not just, you know, those particular matchups one-on-one. Sometimes it is team defenses being in the right area. It is knowing what they want to run and what they want to get to.
And today, was it just, you know, a kind of defensive assignment? Was it just what you were looking for matchup wise to not have Tori get so many minutes? Like not only just being not in the starting five, but not getting any minutes.
I communicated with both of those players. I wanted to try to match Jordan's minutes as much as possible when DB was at the 3. And so that's, you know, if you look at Jordan's minutes and you look at DB's minutes, they mimic each other because that was the game plan going into the game. At the 4, different matchups. Joyner got DB a little bit at the 4, and they went a little bit deeper into their rotation than they did against Vegas. And so we were able to kind of stay pretty solid with keeping Jordan on DB at the wing because she played more wing today. So it was for sure matchups, yes.
Is a performance like this defensively what you sort of envisioned with this group when it came together?
Yes. If you know, think about Connecticut, you know, this year they're not shooting a lot of threes, but to still keep them below 62 is I think the record. That is what I do envision because we're capable not only in a one-on-one matchup, but our team defense. You know, we think about Ezi, her ability to come and use her instincts and alter shots. You think about the on-ball pressure that Jordan and Skylar have. You think about, you know, Nneka and Jewel being in this league for so long and knowing tendencies of players. We have a lot of defensive acumen that we can use as we're playing all different types of matchups.
And then kind of riding the starters in the second half, particularly in the perimeter, just how they're playing, and then a few days off.
Yeah, absolutely. We have an early game plus a day off tomorrow. And so it's about being mindful of rest. And we have a couple of more days until our next matchup. And a team like Connecticut, who almost always doesn't go pretty deep in their rotation, they actually did today. Kind of want to win the game, honestly, and not have any slip ups. What you doing here?
I travel.
Okay.
How you doing?
To see you in Seattle.
Love your place.
Yeah, thank you.
I know you guys have kind of struggled with consistency a little bit. Are you 2 questions. Are you looking forward to this homestand to maybe get on the level playing field? And then how do you go into Thursday's matchup against the also surging team like yourself in the Indiana Fever?
Definitely, it's advantageous to be home at this juncture of our season. We're probably a third way through. I've talked to the team about thinking about this season as like an 800-meter race. It's a long sprint. It's not a marathon. It's not a 100. And so I'm just thinking about where we lie in that and wanting to get better and peak at the right time. And I think it's a good time for us to be at home, not just comfort wise, but also we get to practice. We get to be on facility treatment, all that without travel. It matters when we're trying to really approach this schedule day to day, game by game. Indiana, as you said, they're playing better. And we knew that was going to happen. Every game and every team in this league is very, very good. And it's, again, another opportunity to make sure we're locked in defensively on a team who has a lot of firepower and just continue to have our offense grow. We want to continue to stack days.
Coach, talking about the 25th anniversary celebration, we had this beautiful moment with past Storm and WNBA players in general. Today, out of the original franchises in the league, only 4 remain, and then we have others that have been lasting for longer, which is the Storm, Minnesota. Can you speak a little bit? What is it like for you? And have you talked to
your peers, the former players who worked so hard, and now, I mean, we have right here a game with you, of the new stars. How does it feel for you all to see the league in the level that it is today, and especially more specifically locally with the Storm? What do you think makes the team, like, helps the longevity of the team?
Yeah, you know, it's shout out to our owners who, you know, during they made a major decision in keeping the Storm afloat. And look where we are now because of their investment, because of their, you know, their love for the game and their love for and their passion for basketball and growing the game, and specifically investing in women's sport. You know, I saw Tina Thompson today. You guys know, really great friend, but someone like her, I stand on her shoulders because you think about her 4-time champ. When she came to Seattle, you know, she worked so hard, you know, and her legacy remains because she poured, like you said, her blood, sweat, and tears into this game of basketball. And that's what, you know, it's all about. That's what this organization is, from Sue to Lauren to now our current, you know, Jewel, like carrying that torch. We have a responsibility to make sure everything is intact, respect the game, play the right way, work very, very hard, because we have fans who appreciate the game. We have ownership who is very invested into us. And we have, you know, players and staff who want to be the best version of themselves. And I think the game is in great hands. If you look at the stars, the young stars in this league, the basketball is put first. And they are really understanding that they have a platform and a responsibility to make sure, you know, Tina's legacy and all the people who came before us are honored in the way in which they play and approach the game of basketball. Yeah.
A few questions from Zoom, from Jeff Brown. Can you describe the similarities you see between your team and Connecticut?
Defensive minded. You know, I was trying to gauge our physicality versus a team who was historically physical. And, you know, watching NECA go against Thomas, it showed that we have an ability to match up in a way that maybe we haven't in the past. And, you know, Jordan's, you know, agility and physicality, even with DB, and, you know, our rebounding, very similar, you know, to Connecticut because of, you know, they start on the defensive end, and, you know, we haven't taken a lot of threes and made a lot of threes. Honestly, I think those are going to come, but I think you know, grind it out, start with the defense, and, you know, focus on stopping teams on that end of the floor is very similar right now.
And then also Jordan and Ezi's chemistry together, and then what exactly it means to be an accountability partner as they are.
It's much more than making sure your partner's on time and you know, and doing the right things on the court. It's deeper. It's an awareness that the connection matters on this team. You know, we go to bat with each other on the court, we're battling, but if we are connected off the court and understanding each other off the court, who we are, you know, what we stand for, it just makes our day-to-day work that much more enjoyable and fulfilling, because you're rocking with your sis, but also, you know, you care a little bit deeper, standing shoulder to shoulder with them. So yes, accountability on the court, make sure Jordan knows the plays and knows her coverage and all those things. Her phone is off, so she doesn't get fined, show up on time to the bus, but just, you know, making sure she breathes the air of elite mentality and a mindset that Ezi and NECA have.
Question from M. Adler. After a few games where the defense wasn't exactly where you would want it to be, what was the difference today where the communication and execution on rotations was so good? Practice
time. We had a couple of days to work on it. Commitment to, you know, wanting to start better. I talk about our temperament the other day, start with a better temperament and a little bit more competitive. Though we weren't scoring, we held them to 14 in that first quarter. So it was just a matter of switching our mindsets back to where it needed to be.
And then finally from Christian, talking about Jordan making her first start of the season. Yeah. She said she feels like she belongs and can make an impact on this league. How has her support system supported her in her development as a person and a player?
Yeah, Jordan comes from an amazing family. You know, her mom and Tamari, her dad, they're always here. And, you know, here in the Storm, we know that she has a potential to be amazing, not only for us, but in this league. She's locked into wanting to be that, to be great. And she's committed to that process. And, you know, from the staff to her teammates, we all, you know, encourage her and make sure she knows that, you know, I'm on her a lot because I know that she has so much potential and I want her to stay focused, sharp, and locked in. And she's committed to that. She's enjoying it and she'll continue to do great things here.
And then finally, after the 17-3 run in the second, Connecticut had a couple of pushes, but never really took back control of the game. What went into that run, and was there anything specifically said to dominate the way that we did?
Yeah, I'm trying to think back without watching much film. I just feel like our deflections were on point. Maybe our coverages weren't that sharp, but we were rotating, we were connected, we were in sync, and then we were playing in transition a lot more. And that's what I would probably lean toward without having watched the film.
Willie Ramirez just sneaks one in under
Okay.
the gun. This might be a fun one for you.
Okay.
Past couple of weeks in discussing the top teams in the league, it's been New York and Connecticut, and then Minnesota and Seattle from the West, while Vegas has been struggling. Now Seattle wins a big one, the Sun lose 2 straight, and Vegas is winning again. Is it ever safe to label a team the best in the league at this point in the season?
2024, nothing is safe.
Perfect. All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.